Okay, I hope it's using my lav mic. It's gonna be windy, but I had to stop and make a video. I'm walking out here. Here, I'll just do this by this airport, watching planes land and take off, which is super cool. But while I was out here, I was thinking about life and ideas and the way information gets spread. And I think quantum mechanics I love quantum mechanics because to me it's how the universe uses information. If the universe were a system or a machine, then quantum mechanics would be the way that information, it's the math of the movement of information at the universal scale. So I think of tinier scales like humans, but it's also larger scale in terms of consciousness, meaning like new information. Because to me, what I was thinking is humans are, I think we are I think we're something like at the end of a universe. I think that's what humans are. Like something rare, something that was built. And the way I look at it is if, just think of like how many black holes we find, how many stars we find, and all this, and we still haven't found someone like us sending a message back to us, which is really interesting. So that makes me think that we are rare in our forms of complexity, and everything is just right. And I think the universe, I think the universe is a weight. I think it is the density and the gravity of is the whole universe, and it's that weight pressing down on us, and matter tends to smush together and join, and this is how stars are born. And I was thinking about that, and if you think so you think stars are basically the first things that are born out of the density of matter, or maybe the largest things that are born out of these, matter getting smashed into each other. This is getting really out there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is consciousness is at the bottom of all those forces. I think if you think of the universe's entire weight and you push it down into one singularity, all that information into one point because of the weight of gravity, I would say, boom, you have us, consciousness. So, star at the center of stars, it's so dense, and everything's so dense. And I think that pressure has to push back out somewhere, or maybe it loops back in to other parts of the universe as consciousness. Maybe each star that we see out there is a person. Like, the stars were pushed, and the point of the star was created. And if you look at the time the star was created, you could say, or if you knew when the star was born, you could say, that's around when this consciousness was born. And that's how rare humans are. That's what I was thinking. And if that's the truth, if humans are really that rare, I'm gonna go this side. Oh, wow. Anyway, so if that's the truth, if humans are actually really rare, then we get it all backwards. And we got some learning to do, and we got some messages to spread. So if everything in the universe pushes down on us, on all matter as its entirety, this is why, what is gravity? What does it mean? Well, this is the philosophy of gravity. Gravity is the force of the entire size of the universe, density-wise, pushing down in on itself into a singularity, I guess, towards a single centric force, spherical force. This is why magnets make toroidal shapes. I think that's a clue at the shape of our universe, personally. But that's where the hologram principle comes into it. Like, the entire universe in all its scale can be created or seen at every scale of that universe. So you go down to the smallest parts of the universe, and you would be able to see the largest parts of the universe. That's like a fractal concept, but I think it makes sense. I think basically what it means is, force has a shape, force is hard to measure as a shape, or where, because of, what am I trying to say here? This is tough. This is where I need a pen and paper. Maybe I'll stop messing with that. I wanted to really talk about the power of a smile. I know that was so long to get into a smile. If you made it to this, welcome back to reality, back to Earth. Anyway, we're not going into quantum mechanics in the universe. So, a smile. When you smile, I don't know, it feels good. It feels right. That sounds so nerdy to say. And when it's real, and when you're not having to fake it, like when the universe forces you to smile, right? Like all this pressure of this reality, and you still have the universe still manages to make you smile. So I was thinking how powerful that is. And that's a message that spreads really far. And then I thought about how messages spread across through humanity. And I started to think about social media. And I thought about concepts and ideas and ideologies that get thrown onto social media, and they're kind of washed around like in an ocean. And if free speech is strong and secure, then the shape that you get after the ocean smashes it all down is a nice symmetrical universal property that helps our reality. And so then I realized that consciousness is just a concept as well. It's the ocean of information. It's the ocean of awareness, like the web that awareness has created. Hold on. Look how tiny it gets. It sits on my finger like a little bug. That's so weird. Anyway, so I hope this mic is recording properly, and I hope the wind isn't too bad. I always mess these things up. So anyway, the power of a smile. If a message is delivered with positive intent, like true intent, not just positive, but true intent. Like, this is what I think humans are really good at. We're good at knowing if someone has true, like if you give them enough information, if their intentions are truly good and they're trying to live this reality. Like, I think we're pretty good at knowing people that fall into that category. If you have enough information, if you know them enough, if enough information is out there about them, if people know them, the more people who know them, the better, the easier the image of something you can see. This is why, companies like Google, this is why they want to collect as much information, about people and give it, relativistic algorithms. Basically everything relates to your IP address or your interactions on the, your back and forth between stores and social media. So what happens is they can build a really nice concept of who you are, and they can then, sell very specific ad space to people. You can say, this guy really likes this style. We'll sell you this much percentage of not just advertising space, but they will work into their algorithms. I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just smarter. Who knows how it works? I'm sure some people know how most of it works. I don't think anyone knows how all of it works. And that's something that I've learned the hard way. Hold on, let's see, we got some friends here. There we go. All right. So I guess if I want to bring it all back, if you made it this far, everything has an opposite. So ideas have opposites. So if you say, I think, oh, this is tough, right? I think that when a baby is born, that's it. It's born, right? Like that's an idea. That's an idea, a concept. You know, I would say that's that's an idea for sure. And it's being regulated by government. This is an idea or concept that's being controlled by the authoritative powers. So, this idea is a tough one, and I would say it's akin to like a giant clamshell on a sandy beach. You know, it's shells take time to turn into sand, but eventually, guess what a shell becomes? Ding, 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 you guessed it, sand. No, part of sand. Because what is sand? Well, it's a combination of a bunch of little tiny minerals, little things from rocks and giant, stronger structures that have been smashed into tiny little beadlets. So, anyway. So, to me, that idea is like a clamshell in the ocean of consciousness. And the clamshell lands on the beach. And the beach is the common places for consciousness. It's the social media, it's the coffee shops, it's the families, it's any human places of interaction where ideas get swapped back and forth. And by the way, the more places there are for this, the more the quicker we can get through very tough subjects and large shells, right? Clamshells. We can break it down till it makes sense in the whole thing and it finds its place as a part in something grander, like a piece of sand, which if we run out of is bad news, because that's where we get a lot of materials for all the fancy technology, aka the brains, the digital brains, silicon, chips, and all types of, you name it, all types of oxides and metals, and everything gets kind of pulled out of there. Rare earth minerals. So anyway, so the freer the space, you know, the freer the speech of the space that ideas are shared, the quicker and the more symmetrical the concept starts to become. And we can make rational, it'll become rational quicker. We should, you know, of course when this baby's brain, and when we learn about the neurons and the brain and how much the little creature is now experiencing as it's breathing its first oxygen and it's transferring from amphibious to land-dwelling mammal, and it's so traumatic and it's screaming. It's already grown for so long in the cosmic scale of reality. If consciousness is the rarest thing in the universe, which I think it might be. But anyway, power of a smile. Be honest, be true. Humans know it. If you're gonna believe in something, you should probably understand what you're believing in. You should probably really have a nice identification of where you fit in the puzzle of the ocean, if you will, or the beach. You know, what are you going to be? We walk on the beach, right? So we're obviously much more complex than that. So it's okay to disagree. You just got to find what you disagree about. Like, you need to find if it's valid, if the reasons you disagree make sense. If the reasons themselves like sound so silly and the ideas don't match up, like from one side, like I think of a wave, like two waves crashing into each other, and then in that center point, you know, that's where the ideas really get sharpened or crushed down a little bit more. A better resolution starts to form. So anyway, these little tiny things, tiny forces start super small and go super large. And even if you look like a fool for believing in tiny forces, you should just do it in these ways. So anyway, that's kind of the truth, or one of my truths that I feel. And it's kind of how I live my life and how I try to measure information. Because, you know, I've learned a lot of hard lessons, I guess you'd say, of if you don't try, if you don't do your best, if you don't commit, if you're not working at it, you will, you know, you'll have hardships in your life, let's just say. That's a good way to put it. So the sooner you start to, you know, just try your best to kind of like think about concepts. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? Do you have to protect it? Is it an idea that has to be so guarded and hidden behind so no one, when someone looks at you, they can't see it? And you know what a smile is? It can break through all of that. If it's a real smile, like if it comes from your soul, like I said, the universe has tickled it out of you, then that's truth. That's the truth. So think about, I think I need to think about it more, and if this gets on YouTube, maybe we all should think about it more. But anyway, this has been a walk by the Baylands. So I'll record from time to time when I have like concepts or ideas, which only happen on walks. Pro tip. And not just walks, like a little bit out there into nature. This is young nature, don't get me wrong, it's still right next to Silicon Valley, but it's still nature. So I do my best to get out here. Alright guys, talk to you later.